making singular events on attaching both deciding both my knees.
Alice!
I'm considering the love of a most engaging chap, and I'll let him do exactly as I please.
Clyde! I've a lady down in front who's handed me her latchkey. Surely she must know that spells her doom.
Victor, and these lovely people will grab only more or less.
Airdrop!
And there's no sign to show me in my dressing room.
There you are, how distant yet in Devon, there you are. Just slightly west of Leicester Square you are. Yes, there you are, and thankful we all should be, for well aware we are. So make it quick, let's all kick up a fuss. We can but pray or trust is blind in us. So drink a fill and just unwind in us. A only wicked frame of mind in us. You'll find in us. We want to hang out our lives. We care for where you've been. And not as long we care how you got in. We want heaven, where you are. Diamond, there you are.
Thank you all so very much. Good evening and welcome, a very warm welcome to all of you on this most thrilling of evenings here at the Music Hall Royale. Tonight we have the privilege of presenting, for your approval, the premiere performance of The Mystery of Edwin. This being a musicale with dramatic interludes. Now, as you are no doubt already aware, our very own Mr. Charles Dickens was full halfway through the completion of the greatest mystery novel of our time when he committed the one ungenerous deed of his noble career. He died. Leaving behind not the slightest indication as to the outcome he had intended for his bizarre and uncompleted puzzle, The Mystery of Edwin Drood. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, when together we reach that point in our story beyond which Mr. Dickens wrote no more, I shall be asking for you to vote upon key issues regarding the outcome of our plot. Our company will then make its most earnest effort to meet this supreme challenge, to contrive an ending in accordance with your specifications. So come on, let's all be as vulgar and uncivilized as is legally possible. Kick off your boots, loosen your ties, and enjoy yourselves. So, by all means, let's proceed with this evening's bill of fare. For the first time ever, the completed musical rendition of The Mystery of Edwin Drood. Cathedral city of Cloistrum. Not a particularly encouraging setting for the Christmas season now upon us. A wintry shudder goes through the giant elms as they shed a gush of tears. And here we are in the home of Mr. John Jasper, choirmaster of the Cloistrum Cathedral. Choirmaster, composer, organist, and vocal instructor John Jasper is blessed with a voice the angels themselves might envy. And who, dear ladies and gentlemen, more suited to essay the role of Jasper than that gifted vocalist himself, your very own Mr. Clive Paget. John Jasper eagerly awaits the arrival of his young nephew and title character of our evening's diversion, young Edwin Drood.
Hello, Uncle.
Why, there's the lad now.
My dear uncle.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Your eyes do not deceive you. Devotees of male impersonation are more used to seeing Miss Nothing in a top hat and tails when she does her inimitable rendition of Aren't I Half a Toff? But this evening she hides her distinctive form beneath the garb of young Edwin Drood. A warm round of applause, if you please, for tonight's guest artiste and London's leading male impersonator, Miss Alice Nothing.
Any dinner, Uncle?
You forget, Ned, that uncle and nephew are words prohibited here by express agreement.
Of course, you're right, Jack. After all, we do only have half a dozen years or so between our ages. Don't drink yet. I must propose a toast.
A toast to what, Ned?
He asks, to what? To Rosa.
Rosa.
The fair Miss Rosabud. Surely you've not forgotten that Rosa and I are soon to be wed.
It has not quite slipped my mind.
Yes, the tedious ceremony in your creaking cathedral, Jack. Then off with my wonderfully pretty child bride to dusty Egypt, where I intend to shake things up a bit.
Another trifling day, one more soul-stifling day of blinding pain. Boredom grinds my brain down to the grave. Quite mad, and not be all that bad. Consider each superb, disturbing urge you've ever had to curse aloud in church or choke each bloke who throws a smile your way. Be that as it may, man could have bad dreams and not be all he seems, yet not be far removed from all the noblest of extremes. Sometimes I think that sanity is just a passing fad. A man could go quite mad. It is certain then, Egypt seems a desperate great distance.
Indeed it is, Jack. This portrait of Rosa is not one of my better works, yet you choose to hang it here. In heaven's name, why?
Because it reminds me of you, Ned, and of the happiness I wish you and Rosa.
Oh, I'm sure we'll be quite happy, though our courtship suffers from an unavoidable flatness, owing to the fact that my dead and gone father and her dead and gone father have as good as married us at birth. Why the devil couldn't they have left us alone?
Oh, tut-tut, dear boy.
Tut-tut. That's all very well for you, Jack. You have the freedom to love whomsoever you choose.
Unblessed are the dull, one ceaseless lull. Some wondrous night, storm-struck, thunderous light, will cast me right. A sculptor lacking arms, a sorcerer lacking charms, a fiend who frightens no one, for there's no one that he harms, whose clutches clutch at only desperate respite from this dim tableau. Knowing this is so, I hide myself in thought, where one cannot be caught, and feed on dreams that contradict each edict I've been taught. And if someday I lose my way and mind, you'll find me glad. A man could go quite, man could go quite, man could go quite mad. Don't stop, dear fellow. Do go on.
Have I hurt your feelings, Jack?
How could you have hurt my feelings?
Good heavens, you look frightfully ill. There's a strange film come over your eyes.
I have been taking medicine for a pain, an agony that overcomes me. I have been forced of late to seek treatment in London. Fear not, the effects will soon be gone.
My dear uncle.
But take it as a warning. And Ned, Edwin, this is a confidence between us.
It shall be sacredly preserved, Jack.
I have confided in you because...
Because we are fast friends, and because you love and trust me, as I love and trust you. Both hands, Jack. My dearest Uncle Jack.
My dearest nephew Ned, a life without your friendship would be life as good as dead. The winds storms of hell may blow, but as you well may know, I'll heed your call, no need to small and face the fires below. For you,
For you,
for you,
for you.
two kings we more than brothers, we know no next of kin, and yet we know no others closer knit the skin. The blood that flows between us, the bonds that tie us twain, two kinsmen when all others flee, then we remain. My dearest nephew Ned,
My dearest Uncle Jack, if men say words against you, I would make them take them back. A loyal lad am I, who'd be but glad to die. If by my death one extra breath of life for you I buy. 'Tis true,
'tis true.
you.
For you, two kinsmen more than brothers, we know no next of kin, and yet we know no others closer knit the skin. The blood that flows between us, the bonds that tie us twain, two kinsmen when all others flee, then we remain.
'Tis true,
'Tis true.
for you.
For you, two kinsmen are we two.
Miss Alice Nothing and Mr. Clyde Cratchit, ladies and gentlemen. I would trust that the moderation of your applause merely means that you're conserving your energies for the final curtain. But, to continue our story, young Edwin Drood is visiting Cloistro to offer his regards to his bride-to-be, the fair Miss Rosa Butt, who, like Drood, is an orphan. Rosa resides in Cloistro's most respectable seminary for young ladies, aptly, if not correctly called, the Nun's House. Bill, you think I can have a bottle of whiskey? Not tonight, girls. You must perform. Get back to your place. Ladies and gentlemen, in the part of Rosa Bud this evening, that most delicate of English roses, that blossoming bud who has even yet to be plucked, the unspeakably lovely Deirdre Peregrine.
Rosa, the happiest of birthdays to you. I only pray I may be able to say those words on each of your birthdays.
I fear that is not likely, since, as you know, your own nephew Edwin and I will be departing for Egypt soon after we're married.
It was only a wish, Rosa. How lovely you look. I have awaited your birthday with eagerness.
Eagerness, Mr. Jasper?
Yes, your voice will no longer be as subject to the fluctuations of adolescence. And in what condition is your voice today, my dearest student?
Perhaps as my tutor, that question should be best answered by you. Shall I sing the Mozart?
No. I have composed a song especially for you, my loveliest subject, on this, the occasion of your birthday. A choir master's pay being what it is, my life's blood, is the most I can afford to offer.
Mr. Jasper, I cannot sing these words. It would not be proper.
Why, whatever can you mean?
I cannot. I am not worthy of it.
As your music master, that should be my decision. From the beginning, please.
Between the very dead of night and day, upon a stilly seat of light, I'll lay, and in the moonfall I'll give myself to you. I'll bathe in moonfall.
myself into. Before the cloak of night reveals a morn, time holds its breath while it conceals the dawn, and in the moonfall all sound is frozen still. It's warm against me. Your skin will warm the chill of moonfall. I feel its fingers, fingers, moving of night sea. Light made from stars that are too soon fall. Moonfall that pours from you. Betwixt our hearts let nothing intervene. Between our eyes the only sight I've seen is a lustrous moonfall as it blinds my view, so that soon I only see but you.
That was lovely, Rosa.
Thank you, sir.
But lovely will not do. When you sing these words, you must make me feel that you mean them. Once again, please.
I can't sing it. I'm frightened.
It's nothing. It's all over. Don't speak to her for a minute, and she'll be well.
She's not used to an audience. Besides, Mr. Jasper, you are such a conscientious master that I believe you make her afraid of you. No wonder.
No wonder.
You'd be afraid of him under similar circumstances, wouldn't you, Miss Landless?
Not under any circumstances.
Ladies and gentlemen, our own fiery spirit, the unpredictable Miss Janet Conover.
Oh, good afternoon, Reverend Chris Barkle. Good afternoon, Mr. Jasper. And may I introduce young Neville Landis. Neville and his twin sister Helena have recently arrived from Ceylon, where they no longer have any family. Neville has been entrusted to my care, and Helena shall be staying here at the nun's house.
Welcome to Cloisterham, Mr. Landis.
I'm afraid young Master Neville has been entrusted to my care to help calm his rather hot-blooded nature, and yet to help him make a new start here in Cloisterham.
You and your sister lost your parents recently, Mr. Landis?
Their mother died when they were very young. Now their stepfather has crossed over as well.
Oh, I'm most sorry.
There is no need for you bright gentlemen to console me.
As it happens, it's well my stepfather died when he did, or I might have killed him.
The newest member of our company, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Victor Grinstead.
I surprise you, sir. You shock me. Unspeakably shock me. You never saw him beat my sister. My stepfather was a brute, Mr. Jasper. In desperation, Helena tried on more than one occasion to flee his cruel and miserly hand, even disguising herself as a boy. But to no avail. As for myself, I've had, from my earliest remembrances, to subdue a deep and bitter hatred which had made me secret and revengeful. But your goodness and kind will have deeply moved me, and I pledge to change my ill-tempered ways and break new ground for myself. I say, there's the lad. He'll soon blend in, Mr. Jasper. You'll see. Your pupil, Mr. Jasper. She sings beautifully.
Thank you.
Your efforts have not been without success.
I trust so, Mr. Landis.
And may I inquire if the relationship extends beyond that of pupil and master? Heavens, no, Neville. Miss Budd is betrothed to young Edwin Drood, Mr. Jasper's nephew.
Yes, you'd do well to cast your eyes and interests in other directions, sir.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Jasper.
No pardon is necessary. However, I must be off. Choir practice, I fear. I wish you well in your new life, Mr. Landis.
Thank you indeed, Mr. Jasper. And I trust we shall meet again. And I should like to meet this Drood, and see what sort of man is worthy of the affection of Miss Budd. Steady, lad. Steady.
You are feeling better now, aren't you?
Oh, much, thank you.
These surroundings, which may seem very secure to you, are new and unsettling to me. You will be my friend, won't you?
Well, I will be as good a friend as such a mite of a thing can be to such a womanly and handsome creature as you.
And who is Mr. Jasper?
My Edwin's uncle and my music master.
You know that he loves you.
Oh, don't. He terrifies me. He's made a slave of me with his looks, forcing me to keep silent without his ever uttering a single threat.
Careful! You are tearing Mr. Jasper's composition.
It is of no matter. I do not intend to sing it again.
Oh, I'm sure we'll have at least one reprise of this before we're finished. Don't you think? Watch now. As we step from the chaste sanctity of a nun's house, we travel, for reasons which will soon become clear, to the wickedest hole of the wickedest corner in the fabric of the city of London. Below the streets and beneath contempt lies the opium den of the Princess Puffer. The universal language of opium is spoken, with its subdialects of prostitution, burglary, violence for profit, and murder. And reigning queen supreme on this blemish on England's fair complexion is the Princess Puffer, who ministrates to her client's needs, and who hears more than she tells. Portrayed this evening, ladies and gentlemen, by that grand dame of the Music Hall Royale, your very own and beloved Miss Angela Prysart.
I don't pay, that's what I tell them. You need what I drink, mixing pipes, well then I sell them for a pint of rotten beer. Throats your cat, top pocket through pants, or ya to pop some sleep, dash your face, or bleeding tuppence, pure disgrace to work so cheap. So I say, don't be a sinner for the price of I'm sure. What do I pay you, love? By the note? I've seen girls from gutter families trap rich men with lottery ways, and they call, pass the dog, please, over nuptial breakfast trays. Over here in bed 11 sleeps a bleeding hypocrite. Spends his days eyes cast to heaven, spends his nights amongst this shit. Oh, do beg your pardon. I'm so embarrassed. It won't happen again, I promise. Now, where was I? Oh, yes. That's why I say, don't take half measures, do things right, and dig right in. In this world, there's greater treasures than the wages of sin. I get threats, seldom offers. If I did, I'd pack it in. You can fool too many paupers with the wages of sin. Come on, everyone now. With the wages of sin. Oh, bloody hell! You can do better than that. Get off your bums and give us the notes then. With the wages of sin. God bless you all.
The meanest room in London. And the light of day still would let the parishioners of Cloistrom be astonished to discover in John Lovett, the goodly choir master of the Cloistrom Cathedral, Mr. John Jasper.
Woman, I need laudanum wine, and quickly. My task is only half finished, and your medicine is less potent than usual.
Laudanum? So you're mixing opium with the wine these days? I'll fix it for you now.
Yes, yes. Before I can get to the changes of colors and great landscapes, I must be rid of him.
Oh,
Him! Him!
go love ya. There's no one there.
There he is! And there I am!
Just lie back and have yourself a pleasant journey.
can't seem to recall what I said. Could you please direct me to the railway station? I seem to be lost.
5 and threepence you owes me.
Seems quite a large sum for such a small courtesy. But if you are that needy, and the railway station,
The nearest is in Aldgate. 10 minutes of a walk past the river.
thank you. Incredible.
Who are you then? And what are you?
I wonder how many of you noticed that meaningful statement. It sounded suspiciously like a clue to me. Why do we have it again, my dear? Yes, once more, please.
Who are you then? And what are you?
What indeed? But it is now late the next day, and as we return to less sordid surroundings, we meet Cloistrom's leading citizen, Mayor Thomas Sapsay.
Good afternoon, Mayor Sapsay. Good afternoon.
Really? With a sack of what? Well, it's unacceptable, isn't it? And once again, you'll notice you get saddled with all of the responsibility. Ladies and gentlemen, might I have your kind indulgences for a brief announcement? The part of Mayor Thomas Sapsay will not, I repeat, will not be portrayed by Mr. James Hitchens, as stated in your program. Mr. Hitchens, as many of you already know, has tended to appear more frequently at the bar in the rear than up here in front of the footlights. So it will come as no surprise to our regulars that he is once again massively indisposed due to injuries he received while fighting for a lady's honor. Apparently, the lady wished to keep it. And so, dear friends, his part will be portrayed this evening by your own humble chairman and obedient servant. I refer, of course, ladies and gentlemen, to myself, Mr. William Cartwright. I hope this last-minute substitution meets with your approval. Thank you all so very much. And I might add, it's more your luck than mine.
Good afternoon, Mayor Sapsay.
Afternoon, Reverend Chris Sparkle.
These are my new charges from Ceylon, Mayor Sapsay. I'm taking them to meet him. As a matter of fact, here he comes now. Neville, Helena, allow me to introduce young Edwin Drood.
Sir?
Sir, I congratulate you on your good fortune, sir.
Good fortune, sir.
Your betrothal, sir.
Oh, yes, Rosa.
Our young Ned is soon to depart for your segment of the globe, Neville.
Ceylon, Mr. Drood.
No, but much the same. Egypt.
To make your good fortune, sir.
No, to ensure that Egypt has one. I shall shortly be taking over my family's engineering concerns there, and I plan to pull off a miracle.
Pray, what miracle?
The Cairo Transverse, Mr. Landless. A thoroughfare for commerce and coach travel across the desert to Alexandria.
A monumental task, Mr. Drood.
Yes.
One wonders from where one will take, for example, the paving stones.
From the pyramid. Yes, my studies show there's enough rock in the top half of the Great Pyramid alone.
This is blasphemy. It is not enough to take our delicate brew of tea leaves and otherwise improve it by pouring cow's milk into Neville.
Neville, let us not raise our voices here in Cloisterham High Street.
I meant no offense, sir.
And I did not mean my my awkward ways to arouse such emotion or to ruffle your splendid feathers, Miss Bud.
I'm sure Mr. Landless only feels passionately about his part of the world, Edwin.
As long as he keeps his passions in check.
I fear I have not yet adapted myself to your restrained climate, Master Edwin. Miss Bud.
My uncle has already given me some accounts of your hot-blooded temperament and past, sir. I hope you have left them both behind you.
My reputation precedes me here. A situation I needs must fear. What hope am I of blending in with this, my shade of skin? I thought I'd cleanse my slate at last, but they anticipate my past.
What shall I show them? The good effect.
What do I owe them? What they expect? A British subject on display.
In from Ceylon today.
Our immigration
To this location
has brought our station down a mile.
this destination.
Divides creation in rank and file, and English are they, and British am I.
British are they, and English am I.
There are two subjects we will discuss.
One is our monarch, the other's us.
And yet I fear you soon will be the subject of scrutiny.
A British subject nonetheless.
From where and why they'll try to guess.
Cape Town or Burma, what's all the fuss? All terra firma belongs to us.
A British subject bred and born,
And subject not to scorn.
our immigration,
Migration to this destination.
At first we thought you Asian, oh,
The insulation of our population from the exploitation.
and British am I, and our immigration.
migration to this destination. At first we thought you Asian, oh, the insulation of our population.
And English are they, and British am I. This is the way we'll stay.
This is the way we'll stay till we die.
Till we die.
It's just as I've been saying. There is an instinctive rivalry between my own dear boy and this landless fellow, and I fear his hot-blooded eastern temperament.
Oh, now, Mr. Jasper, I think you exaggerate the matter.
I will go mad! Do you not realize that there is more than one side, one face to all things in nature? Beneath Neville's tainted English accent and adopted English manners, there is a heathen landless, a tribesman landless, a half-blooded, half-bred, half-caste, who would kill as easily as he would comb his sleek hair.
Oh, now, Mr. Jasper, this is quite extraordinary.
To the contrary, nothing could be more ordinary, sir. I myself suffer from this sort of duality on occasion. Sometimes I will forget things, and in going back to fetch them, half expect to meet myself rounding a corner I've already turned.
And what of me, having to be both your chairman and this Saxon bloke at the same time? It's damn confusing.
Indeed, like our two-sided Neville Landless, I find that I am not myself these days. For all I know, I might be you. There's more than room enough for two inside my mind.
I am likewise in a haze of who I am from scene to scene. What's more, we two, we four, I mean, are in a bind.
For is it I, or is it me?
And if I'm him, and if I'm he, each one of us might not agree on what to do.
And if I take opposing sides within myself, then who divides up what is right or wrong?
I'll go along with you.
Halfpenny, one penny, twopenny, threepenny, 12 to a shilling, twice that to a florin, and putting the fancy, the currency, four, and the practice, and base, both sides of the coin. Bob is your uncle from pennies to guineas, the two-sided bit is the rule, not exception, and would you not go by the fool of deception to find the same face on both sides of the coin? shining morn.
There's a rose and there's a thorn.
Is dead as soon as born, and yet we smile.
The lux division is reversed.
It seems to work more in reverse.
If things are better, they'll be worse in just a while.
If anyone many companies, punctuation, trace central of foreign, and wouldn't have fancy the currency foreign, the fact is invincible side to the coin. Comes a run from points to means, the two-sided news is the rule that exception, and wouldn't have been the point of deception, the mind is invincible side to the coin. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Come on, Bill! All together now!
You've convinced me, Mr. Jasper. I shall keep both eyes fixed upon Neville Landis.
A brilliant and original idea, may I say, but now I must change.
And now, as we fall out of Cloistrom High Street, we fall into step with the relic known only to the residents of Cloistrom as Turtles. A gentleman whose knowledge of a cathedral tomb is exceeded only by his capacity for wine and spirits. He is wending his way towards an important assignation.
What's that you say, Bill?
I said an assignation with Mayor Sapsay, who lives just around behind.
What's that you say, Bill?
I said around behind.
And so have you!
I didn't come here to be insulted.
Why? Where do you usually go?
I'm not a complete fool, you know.
Oh? Which bit is missing?
You're next to an idiot.
Nice to meet you.
Ladies and gentlemen, assaying the role of Durdles this evening, that clown prince of the Music Hall Royale. Your friend, not mine. I give you, and don't want him back, Mr. Nick Tricker.
Assisted, dear friends, by my own young lad, Nick Trigar II.
Yes, a warm round of applause for Mr. Nick Tricker and Son.
Good afternoon, Mayor Sapsay, your lordship, sir.
Afternoon, Durdles.
Sorry about the cough, Governor. It's a touch of tombism.
No, you mean rheumatism.
No, tombism. I've been working on your dead wife's grave.
Durdles, please refer to the late Mrs. Thomas Sapsay as just that. The late Mrs. Thomas Sapsay. That is how I like to refer to her. Indeed, that's how I like to think of her.
She was 1 in a million.
No, one in a raffle. But is my wife's grave ready?
Yes, Governor. The door is all ready for my inscribing. She'll be much happier
once we've moved her from her temporary grave, although it's not been at all damp, and the moles won't have gotten to her for ages. Although there's nothing much you can do about the worms. I mean, they've already made a meal of Mrs. Sapsay's brain. No matter what the teacher has.
No, Doodles, that's quite enough. And who is this thing? This boy?
My protein squire, name of deputy.
I put the lock on my spirit myself, your lordship.
That's right, Governor. And it'll be my pleasure to unlock that door and slide your old woman right in there tomorrow. There's room enough in there for the entire royal family to have afternoon gin.
Oh, yes, I'm quite sure of it.
But really, Governor, that crypt is a national monument. If I may make so bold, just a while ago, Mr. John Jasper asked if I'd take him down into the crypts to see it.
You might like to add that line to your list of suspicious statements.
Steady on, Bill. We don't want these people jumping to conclusions without all the facts at hand. Otherwise, they'll be running off to the races.
Stop already! That's scheduled for later on in our program. We mustn't stop the dramatic momentum we're building here. For now... Oh, shut up! And you too! Hey, listen, my son! We mustn't stop the dramatic momentum we're building here. For now, we must descend into the darkness in hopes of shedding a new light upon our curious story as we follow Doodles in deputy to the graveyard of Cloistrom Cathedral.
What? Have you been watching me, you cunning devil? I'll have the blood of you! There. That will serve you.
You murdered him!
What? What do you say?
Murder! Murder!
Stop talking such lunacy, Turtles, and help me revive the dear boy. I only pray that...
There, you! I'll poke your eyes up next time, so help me.
Quiet, young bitch!
Why do you assault me in this way, Deputy?
You're rightfully asylum, Mr. Jasper.
Peculiar lad.
Blame it on infectious youth, Mr. Jasper. Oh, but this is potent wine you gave me. Much more potent than I'm accustomed. Did you get a look around inside Mrs. Sapsay's tomb while I was asleep?
No. I seem to have gotten lost.
Well, I was lost myself, Mr. Jasper, in a fitful dream. I dreamt someone touched me and took something from me. And here's what it was. Mayor Sapsay wouldn't like me leaving the keys to the mausoleum lying around in front of his dead wife's crypt. He gave me strict instructions that well, and now the key to Mrs. Sapsay's tomb is missing. What do you think, Mr. Jasper?
moment for Christmas dinner. And a poor host I, not to offer all the comfort and joy of the season. A happy Christmas, Turtles.
God rest ye merry, Mr. Jasper.
Spent many a bright and chatting afternoons here, eh, my own betrothed? No, Rosa. We are not legally bound towards marriage.
Then let us change to brother and sister from this day forward.
Never to be husband and wife?
Never.
I am honor bound to confess that this idea does not originate with you alone, Rosa.
I know, dear one. You have not been truly happy with our engagement. Nor have I.
I am sorry, Rosa.
And I for you. Poor boy.
Oh, if only our marriage had not been assured since birth. Then maybe we would know how we truly felt towards each other.
If we were perfect strangers, how perfect life could be.
I know if I adore you, you'd know if you love me. Too much we've seen together to judge the view. Too much we've been together, and I assume the future.
And I presume that you have and you time wondered what.
If we were perfect strangers, I'd find my way with ease. I see the path before me, the forest from the trees. Could life be real without you? You're always there. How do I feel about you? I care.
Too near to touch you, my dearest Ned. How much you mean to me, how much you
How would we feel it? How would we show it?
Brother,
Sister,
I pray you take this clasp, left to me by my mother, as a vow of our eternal friendship. God bless you.
God bless you, dear.
How do we feel about you?
I care.
Too near to touch you, my dearest Ned. How much you
But are we lovers? How would we know? How would we feel it? How would we show it? If we've been perfect strangers, I must have loved you perfectly. All of this will come as a terrible blow to my uncle. Whatever's the matter, Rosa?
Could we keep our news for Mr. Jasper for a little while, Eddie?
Of course, you're right. Why give him such sad news on Christmas Eve? But we must be off. He's expecting us for dinner, and I fear there's a storm brewing.
Would it be so clever to have here in Cloisterham? There's snow, and now this threatening storm. The gods must be angry.
God must be angry, Neville, not gods. We use the singular in England.
What a storm for Christmas Eve!
Yes, it was like this the night that Rosa's mother died.
Neville tells me you were once engaged to Rosa's mother, Mr. Crisparkle.
Yes. Yes, but I feared I was a bit too Anglican, a bit too angular for her tastes. And then one night, Not long after Rosa was born, at a seaside party, celebrating Rosa's mother's second anniversary, she apparently slipped while walking unobserved and drowned in the embrace of the ungrateful waves. But enough! Let us forget our grievances with ourselves and with one another over the sturdy Christmas dinner. I pray you will forgive the meager merits of my humble table.
Hello all, sorry we're late, but we fought the
Miss
storm.
Bob! It is wondrous to see you again. Let me take your things!
I had no idea you had taken on domestic staff, Uncle.
Edwin, Mr. Landless will take you seriously.
No fear of that!
Now, lads. Rosa, you've no idea what it means to have you in my chambers.
Miss Bud, how is it in the season of holly? You remind me of the flowering hibiscus.
And how is it that you, Mr. Landless, remind me of an inconsistent baker? For while your metaphors are quite stale, your manners are uncommonly fresh.
You go too far, sir!
Gentlemen, this is Christmas Eve, and I will tolerate no further unchristian-like behavior between you. Now, this mulled wine is very good stuff indeed. I have prepared it especially for you from a recipe I obtained on a recent trip to London.
Well, any port in a storm for me, Uncle.
Yes, any port in a storm for me. Very good, Edwin. Very good.
Reverend,
None for me, thanks.
now, let us drink deep.
My, this is more potent than usual, Jack.
Yes, well, I thought you lads would like it. Now, let us have no further ill will between you.
Please, Edwin.
There is no longer any need for rivalry between us, Neville. You have my friendship, if you wish it.
Then a Merry Christmas to you, Edwin. Miss Bud, I think our next Christmas will be in Egypt.
My God, Landless. Perhaps you should accompany us to Cairo. I'm sure Rosa and I will need someone to carry our bags.
What?
Someone better acquainted with a foreign tongue than he is with minding his own.
Gentlemen, ladies, please be seated.
Sir, I don't much like that donut supercilious near you wear. Clear you wear a finer cut than mine. I'll bought a waistcoat, one can soon be torn, and faggots too to faggots feed on you.
Something in this speech seems ominous to me. Twin Uncle Reed, pray promise this to me.
Praise to him divine, for this we should be glad.
Won't you try some wine?
No good can come from bad.
My dearest nephew Ned, I wish to wish you well. The world is yours before you, just like Christmas on the show.
Landless, as you are a gnome, your blood is hot but less than pure. Less I'm sure that we, your history, would indicate the past of some past run through your veins, your crudeness thus explains.
Something sent a chill like feet upon my grave.
Can my strength and will completely Neville save?
Could these words they say bring harm upon the lad?
Night must follow day, no good can come from bad. My dearest, deepest friends, may I propose a toast to Rosa Bud and Edwin Drood. 3 cheers!
How very blessed are we, what oh so many starve. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done.
Which one of you will carve?
Glances cut like blade through bone with daggers drawn like latitude. There at you who dare presume to stare at who might make my wife and share my life. I see you dead before she grows a wedge.
Fate waits near. I feel it, I fear it. We are friends and yet you'll not soon forget. Hearing Neville's threat, every epithet.
In younger days I hungered for another. Rosa's mother. After Rosa's birth, she left this earth. Now dust is all I'm worth.
So long a time they thought that I'm addressed and all quite naive. But I believe these boys, this noise more frightening than they might conceive. So
With these new additions, there may be revealed murderous admissions, otherwise concealed.
Fire you I curse! Full warning you I've had!
that must lead to us.
No good can come from bad, no good. No good can come from
What a storm for Christmas Eve! I must stroll down to the River Weir to see this fit of nature unchecked. Will you excuse me, Uncle?
Of course, Edwin. I will join you on your walk.
Then we must retire to the nun's house before the evening storm. Good night, Edwin.
My dear.
Everyone.
Rosa,
Be careful how you tread, Neville.
I shall see the ladies safely home.
Will you join us, Uncle?
No, Edwin. I have plans I must execute. But you shall not go in that flimsy coat of yours. You shall wear my own humble but serviceable caped coat. Come, Edwin, your destiny calls.
Then goodbye, Uncle. Goodbye, all.
When shall these three meet again? When? If ever. But it is now late the next day. Christmas Day, to be sure. The storm has passed, but in its wake, there is to be found no trace of young Edwin Drood.
Reverend Crisparkle! Mr. Crisparkle! I fear something dreadful has happened to Edwin.
Oh, Rosa, let us await till my assistant Basil reports. You have heard the saying that no news is most certainly good news. But here he comes. Bassett, what news? No news. There, you see? I don't believe you'll bet my assistant Bassett. His chief occupation is guiding excursion parties around our church. Quite the showman is our Bassett, though tragically misplaced.
Misplaced?
Yes, Mr. Bassett carries with him a secret. Now, Rosa, what do you suppose Mr. Bassett has done?
Oh, nothing terrible, I hope.
No, Mr. Bassett has written a play. Tragedy. The Thorn of Anxiety.
When will it be performed, Mr. Bassett?
Never. I believe Mr. Bassett has more pride in its lack of support, like a citizen of Greece who prefers to see the Parthenon in ruin. But I hope to see Mr. Bassett's play performed someday.
I too, Mr. Bassett.
I love the theatrical world, but there are many stages beyond the proscenium. I long to play a larger part.
Then Bassett, use that enviable creativity to find some accounting for young Ned.
That assignment I eagerly accept.
Oh, my poor hopeless Edwin.
How like her mother she looks. Had the Lord seen fit to smile on me, had she not married another, nor met her dead by that pleasure party by the sea, I might have been Rosa's...
Father, I need your prayers.
Come, Rosa. The cathedral bell summons us.
And is it not significant, Mayor Sapsay, that Neville Lanless was last seen fleeing the district?
You've convinced me, Mr. Jasper. A secret murderer could indeed be hiding in Cloistrom's most affectionate bosom. Evening now.
Exactly, sir.
Then I shall instruct a few strong men to go and bring him here, using whatever force is necessary, so that we may question him.
You do that, sir.
I know this swings enough now, and what you'll do, educate the murderous swine. Right, but then you'd love to have an egg for Christmas. Fetch the dog! Come on!
Oh, Mr. Jasper! Mr. Jasper! Look what I've discovered! Why, it's my coat! The one that I gave to Edwin last night! It's been torn to ribbons! And blood! Oh God, there's his blood on it! Where did you find this? Under a rock by the River Weir. My dear boy! He's murdered! I take this oath before you, Bassett, recorded in your memory, that I shall fasten the crime of murder upon the murderer, and I devote myself to his destruction! I shall remember your words, Mr. John Jasper!
And it looks like that's the evening for you tonight, Philip.
That's right, Bill.
I mean, it hardly seems worth your coming down from Knutsford each night, doesn't it? You seem to specialize in these narrow parts as of late.
Not by choice, Mr. Cartwright.
Let's see. In Julius Caesar, you played the role of
A senator.
Ah, so at least you were in for the kill. You know, if you think fit, it's rather odd that Charles Dickens created your character at all. Unless, of course, he had a more promising future in mind for you.
Why, that's been my solace in the role, Mr. Cartwright.
Yes, you understudying Mr. Paget as John Jasper, I note. Surely one of these days.
In actuality, Mr. Paget claims never to have missed a performance in his entire career.
Ah, well, Philip, we're almost through with our first act, and our second act is considerably shorter in length. Would you have a song ready at hand? Shall we? Yes, why not indeed?
Well, as a matter of happenstance, Mr. Cartwright, I do have, in common with my role this evening, aspirations as an author. And I've composed a rather brief song, which I venture to say underscores the dilemma I share with the character of Bassett I portray. I hesitate to...
Come, Mr. Bax. It's titled.
Never the luck, Mr. Cartwright.
Ladies and gentlemen, an unscheduled diversion in our journey this evening. The debut of an unpublished and perhaps gratefully unheard composition. Mr. Philip Bax singing his own Never the Luck.
Never the luck, and never the lead, and never you mind, they say. In time we all taste the lime in the light, and I'll have my night someday. Still, each precious part seems over and done before I've begun to speak. I cast out my line, but keep my hand in, 'cause I'll not stand in this week. Some starless night, they'll call towards the wings. Who here dances and sings? That's when yours truly springs, and seeing me then they will cry. Why, he knows each line and everyone's cue. We must let him do the part. I'll leap center stage, the music will play. I'll waltz my way into your heart. Though ever I to try. I wait for my star. I fate to be struck. But never the luck have I. But never the dream have I.
Boys, enough now!
That's your murder, sir.
Reverend Kisbuckle, what have I done?
Nothing, but I'm sure there's some extra. Where is Edwin Drood?
Where is? Why do you ask me that way? Because you were the last person in his company, and he is nowhere to be found.
Mayor Sensei, do you wish to question him?
Yeah, you left for the River Weir with Edwin Drood at what time?
In all honesty, I cannot recall anything of what transpired once Edwin and I reached the riverbed.
And these bloodstains upon your shirt front, Mr. Landless?
I acquired these bloodstains, sir, just now, when these men of yours forcibly dragged me back from the countryside, where I've been walking.
Neville Landis is acting constable of the district. I place you under arrest.
Neville! How many of them did it take to mob you in this way?
38.
You have an interesting way with the law here at Cloistra, Mr. Sapsay. And you, Mr. Jasper. For days now you've been warning all Cloistra of impending violence between your nephew and my brother. What do you know about this?
That my nephew is dead.
Mayor Sapsay, I warn that young Master Neville has no knowledge of Edwin Drood. Beyond that which he has most freely volunteered, I assure you.
You shall volunteer nothing further, Neville.
I would remind you and your brother that the issue of murder is at hand.
Before you utter that word again, you laughable man, perhaps you would be kind enough to supply a body, a victim, a corpse, something more tangible than an errant nephew, a timorous uncle, and a ludicrous city official who has no backing for his charges. Beyond pure hope and sheer circumstance.
Here, here.
Well said, Helena.
She's right, you know. Without Edwin Drood's body, you cannot possibly arrest young Master Neville.
Oh, very well. Release him then.
Bless you, Mr. Crisparkle.
I am overpaid.
I only wish I could express my gratitude without this strange, somewhat geographically untraceable accent.
Yes. Well then, let's all pause for a moment then, shall we? So here's where the matters lie. Edwin Drood has vanished, and may likely be, Clive,
Dead. John Jasper has sworn vengeance upon his nephew's murderer, whom most of this populace would suspect to be Neville Landless.
But the charges against Neville have been rescinded thanks to Helena Landis's steely resolve and the kindly support of
Who once was engaged to
Rosa's deceased mother. Meanwhile, it's difficult to know what one should make of...
The drunken stonemason Turtles and his apprentice deputy, not to mention...
mysteriously motivated purveyor of opium, the Prince's Possum.
statements to consider during the interval with one admonition. Should you leap to conclusions without all of the relevant information, you may find yourself carried off to the races.
Yes, those are the
spontaneous request, which brings us, rather adroitly I think, to a song. For what evening at the Music Hall Royale would be complete without a rendition of its trademark anthem, Off to the Races! Quick conclusions often lead the best of us astray. The wisest move in life is just to wait. Otherwise, our galloping emotions run away.
Like horses at the gate. Off to the races, off to the races, off to the race we go. But where the chase is and what the pace is, we seldom seem to know. Men with broken hearts are vowed to nevermore pursue a member of the soft and savored race.
Savored race.
Firmly anchored to the ground, he suddenly will view a fair and favored face.
Then,
Off to the races, off to the races, where flirting faces call. My saving grace is strong drink replaces the need for love at all. Don't fall back on your assumptions, hasty presumptions might do you in. Mind the track like an egg running blind, try lagging behind you'll find you'll win.
bless our Queen Victoria, she's had 9 kids to date. You wonder how Prince Albert got enthused. Probably by her decree he had to procreate, said she.
Off to the races, the royal races, the same as poor folk do.
When she embraces, her royal grace is the same at once as you.
Put your hands together. Are you enjoying our show? Let's put our hands together now.
And the race is won by the tart, not the foolhardy fools that we be. Don't unlace your madcap abandon, do and you'll land undone, not me. So we call upon you all to hold your horses reins before the song stages of pride. Sometimes having patience is as long